And hello everyone, and welcome to a new episode #playing together.
Hello, we are the Sudden Knot, and today we are gonna play with Jay. Hi, Jay.
Hi, Sudden Knot. Hi. I'm wearing a black shirt. I don't know if that's the best thing, but
You completely blend with the background.
Yeah, we only see your head and hands.
Where are you zooming in from?
I'm currently in Santa Monica, California, which is Los Angeles, basically.
Okay, nice. And what have you done today? Have you done something special?
Well, but first thing it is, I walked my dog with my significant other. We got a 9-month-old puppy about a month ago.
Okay.
So they need a lot of work. They need to be walked a lot, so I did that. And then I did a 10-minute scene with my buddy Gareth, who is based in Copenhagen. We did an improvised scene for 10 minutes, which was just a blast. And then it was a nice warm-up for playing with you two.
Nice.
Okay. I had breakfast also, I should say that. It's like 10 a.m. here where I am.
I had breakfast about 10 hours ago.
Yeah, I just had snails for dinner.
Ew.
I'm sorry. True. Yeah, I love snails. So delicious.
Johan eats all kind of crazy animal
Yeah, we call them wilken here.
inside and outside.
Yeah, we call them wilken. I don't know how it is in English. Wilken, I don't know. But it's a sort of snail out of the sea. And when we have markets here around in Belgium, they prepare them basically in water there, and they with pepper and salt and a few things in, and celery, and then you can buy 10 or something on the marketplace and eat them out of your hand. So it's really nice. It's delicious.
So did you go to the market?
No, you can also buy them sometimes in the supermarket, but you have to see they are really fresh. They're just fresh for a couple of days. So I see Desi is not approving this. Okay. Well,
Desi, what's the most, like, the strangest food you've ever eaten?
Cheese. Like really smelly cheese. I don't eat crazy strange food. I don't eat animals, so yeah, I guess.
you have cheese with little worms inside, which are still alive. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, little worms. I will send you a photo later on. It's yeah, you open them now, and then you just eat them.
You eat the worms?
Yeah, with the cheese. Yeah, and they give the cheese a very nice taste. What's the most strangest thing you've eaten, Jay?
I've had tacos with like cow brains.
Oh, okay.
That's a pretty. I should say I had a bite of it. I've had a bite of like haggis.
Okay, yeah.
Scotland, which is like okay. I think my adventurous days are past me. I'm pretty set right now, and I'm pretty much like I'm open for trying things, but not the ones that are like I felt like when you're younger, you're like, yeah, I'll try that thing that isn't actually food. Let me eat that stuff.
Yeah,
and
true.
Now, I'm not.
That's
I
exactly.
might try something. I'll try something like if I travel regionally, I like to try things, but yeah, I'm pretty set right now. I feel like.
You can come here and try Johan's worms.
Oh man.
Yeah, we will have a nice dinner, Jay. First we start with snails and then cheese.
Well, it's funny. My kid's mom said you would eat anything if there was cheese on it. And that's kind of true. Like if you put cheese on something, I'm more likely to eat it. So I bet I would try it. I don't know if I would eat a lot of it, but I bet I would try it.
Yeah.
My brother and I both don't like mushrooms. Like we just don't like him at all. And when he met his wife's parents for the first time, like 40 years ago, or yeah, it's probably 40 years now, they made spaghetti with mushrooms in it, and he took the mushrooms and picked them and put them on the side of his plate, and then at the end he just ate all the mushrooms at once at the very end. He didn't want to offend the parents.
No, he wanted to empty his plate.
Yeah, he's like, I'll eat it, but I'm going to eat it all at the end and get it all done with.
That's funny.
Well, I have to confess that I once ate an European firebug. It's this red insect with the black things on
Yeah.
his bag.
Why?
Oh, it was an accident.
So not on purpose, just...
Now about that, it seems that every human being eats sometimes a spider at night. So the spider comes crawling when you sleep, and then it's gone. Yeah.
You eat more than one in your lifetime.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think that those are like very old spiders and they're tired of being alive and they're probably sick and they're seeking for a way to put an end of their lives?
Yeah, their children are like, Mom, don't go in that crater.
Yeah.
I'm ending it today. And they're like, I'm out.
Now I think these spiders are basically explorers. They all know about all these caves and they want to go in to investigate.
Or like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, they also wear little hats. So, okay, let's do some improv.
I think that was quite an improv.
Yeah, we're kind of doing it now.
Yeah, I guess.
Hey, Boris, nice hat. Oh, thanks. I got it down at the Spider Hat Shop.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, shall we take something from the magical hat?
Yeah, Johan wants to make it official.
Yeah.
My best work is pre-show, by the way.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's gonna pale in comparison.
The suggestion is a spider with a hat. No. No, that's not true. No, that's not true. Okay, it's a suggestion from Frank Wirtelaars. Yeah, he's from Belgium. And he said the following. Oh yeah, it's something you find on a second-hand market. So you walk on a second-hand market, and what do you find? A picture of your family.
Oh, wow.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Frank.
Let's go.
Is it supposed to look at you wherever you go? Because no matter where I go, its eyes are looking right at me.
Yeah, I also kind of have that feeling. It's kind of disturbing. Oh,
It's... Oh my God. Okay, now the eyes moved.
I saw that. Yeah, maybe it was the light, some kind of a trick or something. Or maybe it's one of these like slideshow frames.
Yeah. I think it's... Okay, I definitely saw the eyes move that time. And it's blinking. I think it's part of the experience here.
It kind of reminds me of your mother.
Oh,
I mean, every time I move, her eyes are after me.
she tracks you all the time. I mean, that's the first thing I thought too. That's just, it reminds me of my mother. And it's got my mother's expression.
Yeah. When I
Mother, will
cook.
you eat? Come on and eat. You are too thin. I want to feed you. When are you moving back home?
Shall we take it?
Yeah, I think it'll look great in the living room or the bathroom.
Oh, maybe the bathroom, because you are constipated often, and that will help you with.
You're very generous. I'm in the bathroom a lot.
Yeah.
I have a very sensitive digestive tract. You're right. You know what? You're the first person I've been with who hasn't made a big deal about it. I appreciate that.
I'm pretty honest and open.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're the first person who let me park my van in your yard.
Hey, music's a part of your life. You can park your van wherever you want.
We appreciate that.
Oh. I'm gonna turn to walk away, but then I'm gonna see if I can catch this painting looking at me. See if it tracks. Ah, okay. I didn't even turn. Hear us? This is the greatest thing we could buy. We have to. I'm gonna buy this. I'm gonna buy this.
Yeah, and it's super cheap.
Yeah. I mean, wow, it's €1.
Wow, yeah. I know I want euro, but
The frame's worth more than that.
yeah.
Maybe. I'm gonna try something. All right. Painting on the wall. Do you grant wishes for one and all? It's a try.
Yeah, it doesn't, or maybe it does speak, but we have to give it something like honey or bugs or I don't know, worms.
Yeah, I mean, like an offering of some sort.
Yeah, it's like an altar.
Well, I mean, I can grab something from our picnic basket.
Okay. Give it a sandwich.
Yeah, I mean, painting. I feel like I'm gonna chant again. I feel that can't hurt. Painting. Is your name Mitch? I would like to offer this sandwich.
Oh no, it's right.
Oh, it
It likes the sandwich. It likes the sandwich.
Here, Mitch. I'm gonna put this. I'm just gonna put it at your feet. I'm gonna put it at. It's.
Oh yeah, it's a armadillo sandwich. Maybe it doesn't like armadillo.
Painting. Is this you? Do you like the sandwich made of armadillo? No. Okay. All right. I'll take it back.
Okay, just give it a cherry, tomato, or whatever vegetable we have there.
Painting. We don't want to go. Do you want our sandwich of cherry tomato?
Put that sandwich down.
Oh, it looks like your mother.
Take me to your home.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the rule. Let's get it. Let's go home.
All right.
Let's go home.
Oh, hey, you woke up.
Are you again in the toilet, Jonathan?
I think putting you here, I mean, it does a lot for me, so thank you. Hey, Painting, can I ask you a question?
Don't call me Painting, I'm your mother.
Oh, Mom, I'm sorry. It's a very, very amazing likeness.
I am your mother.
I'll be on in a second.
Your father sold me.
Wait, you're going?
No,
You're not going.
I'm staying here, hanging in the toilet.
Are you in the toilet again? Jonathan.
I am. Come in. I'm just fixing my hair. I'm just
Okay, okay.
I'm not on the toilet. I'm just
Oh.
fixing my hair.
You know, you can do that in the bathroom, not in the toilet. Anyways, your mother's waiting for the toilets as well.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get out. Okay, I'm gonna get out. Mom, I'm gonna leave.
Yeah?
If you want to have a word with Francesca,
Francesca?
be nice. I'll be back.
I will be very nice, Jonathan. I don't like you.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because you're old and useless.
You've put me in the toilet. Was your idea to put me in the toilet?
Yeah, because your child needs you here. Yeah, he has been constipated since your husband sold you.
Are you happy with Jonathan?
But we got you back.
Yeah,
so-
yeah, by accident. By accident. Otherwise, I would still be there on the marketplace. You know, there was rain on my head sometimes.
Can you stop talking for just 1 minute? It was my idea to go to the flea market. He always goes to the mall. And I said, let's go to the flea market. There are nice things there as well.
I see.
We found an old ugly thing.
I see. Francesca, what do you see in my son?
What do you mean?
Do you like him? Is it for his money?
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah, but I told you that. I told you the first time we met. I am with your son because he has money. And he let me park in the yard. That's also important.
I don't like that at all, Francesca. I never liked you. I knew the first time I saw you that you were not material for my dear son.
Why not?
Because
You was with his father because his father is rich. Then you became old and ugly, and he sold you, and now he's with the younger woman. That's life.
that's unfair.
Yeah, I guess. Why? I mean, I have the beauty and the youth. He has the money, and then when things change, he can find another woman, and I can find a flea market.
Yeah, and that's what you deserve. To be
I don't mind it.
on the flea market just like me. Because
I don't mind it. That's the circle of life. You know?
it shouldn't be like that. When you're old, you should be able to live together with your children and family. Not be
You are with your child.
yeah, by accident now, because you saw me on the flea market. I'm so
Well,
happy. I'm so unhappy. I'm going to close my eyes and then I will not be able to communicate anymore.
Believe in accidents. And we brought you here by accident, and I got pregnant by accident. So, yeah. I will give you grandchildren. Are you dead?
No,
Okay, sorry.
I'm just a painting.
Don't mind me. I forgot my phone. In fact, I just wanna grab my phone. I hope everything's
Here, okay, yeah, it's here. Take it.
Okay, I thank you. I just forgot. I didn't mean to interrupt. I forgot my phone.
Yeah, yeah. You can enter. I mean, you're almost in the toilet.
Yeah,
Half of your body is inside.
I'm like, I just wanted to grab my phone, but now that you're here, it's like, we don't really get a chance to talk in a confined space like this anymore.
Exactly, and your mother is sleeping, so you can have a nice conversation.
How'd it go?
Well, you know your mother, she was a bee before she became painting. Now she's even bigger bee. But I think it went well because I'm very honest and open, and I cannot lie.
So mom's staying?
Yeah.
You understand what an effect you have on her? You're the first person I've been with where she hasn't run away.
Yeah, but she's back in this painting now, so she doesn't have the job.
She'll find a way to leave.
Yeah.
But she didn't because she likes you.
Yeah, and I think the pregnancy helps. So I told you about that. I told you I was pregnant, right? Did I tell you? No.
Wait, I'm gonna be a dad?
Yeah, but see, my belly is huge.
Yeah, I know. I didn't want to say. I didn't know if it was a diet change or what, and I didn't know how to bring it up to you.
Yeah, because I also drink a lot of beer, but it's zero alcohol now, so.
God, wow, I'm happy.
Oh, so yeah, because I was thinking I want out. I mean, I want to get on my van and travel the country alone.
You should.
Yeah, I also want, I want to travel alone. I want to give a birth in the middle of nowhere alone. And then I can come back and let the baby live with you.
Yeah, I mean, I have been smothering you a lot emotionally. It's a lot to take in. I would feel terrible if you were going to be out on your own without any means to support yourself. So I'd love to, if I could, I would love to help financially.
Okay, yeah, financially, yeah. You can do that. But I'll be back and I will give you the baby.
I mean, this is like the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
You get to travel and do your music.
And give birth in the middle of nowhere.
Birth in natural birth, which you've always wanted.
Yeah.
You're going to sell more merchandise because, I mean, people will buy things from you. And then I get to raise the child, which is something I never knew I wanted, but now I kind of want that.
Oh, great. You can raise the child, and when it's 18, I will come back to see it again and to reconnect.
And then make a decision. At 18, if you want to take the child back or not. Like, don't commit to it now.
No.
Wait till you find out what job I've done raising the. I mean, that's smart.
Yeah. Okay, so I am going to pack. You can prepare some money for me. And see you in several months.
I knew I came back for my phone. So I can transfer money to your account. That's why I came back for my phone.
Coincidence? I don't think so.
Hold on a second. Let me just put a little all right here, and then I got okay, and I can only put in 400,000.
It's fine.
Okay, so all right, transferred. What? Wow. I told you this room is magic.
It does magic.
I think my best thoughts here, the best things happen here. I mean, this is.
Yeah, you think the best thoughts here, and I hope these thoughts will grow into our baby.
Our baby.
You're going to be a daddy. Oh, see you soon.
Okay, bye.
End scene. Okay.
Thank you for playing. That was very fun.
It was really unusual and nice.
Yes, it does. I fully agree with that. I thought, it's amazing.
You gotta bring it home.
Yeah, and you only had $400,000 to give. So. Yeah.
Oh, not this month. Come back next month.
Yeah. No.
Sure.
I mean, I think it's so much more fun when somebody's like, I want to leave. I think it's more fun to be like, sounds good.
Yeah, exactly. No, don't leave, please. I want everything.
Like, don't give you a lot of money. That's all I've got. This much is a whole bunch of money.
Yes. Oh, that was fun. Great. Yeah, let's have a little chat about improv and all the things you do, Jay.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Yeah. So
Have you done improv in your life?
This is my first shot at it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's for me. You two are great.
Do you think you like it?
Well, I need to be more prepared. So. You know, you get into. I feel like when people get into improv or like they take classes, they go, "Oh, I've done this before." It's like, yeah, you just didn't know it's called improv. It's just like playing with your friends who supported your ideas,
Yeah.
which is, I mean, it's the same thing. You're trying to get back to being a kid, basically.
Yeah, it's the things you did when you were young, and then you played and you had fantasy about, and you build a world together and you do all that stuff together, and at a certain point, yeah, you stop doing that.
Yeah, you're told there's no value to it.
Yeah,
You're told to grow up. You're told to get serious. You're told to like you need to learn these other things, and it's like no, the value of play is so underrated, and it helps with problem solving. It helps you get along with other people. When you laugh, it brings down the defenses. Like it brings energy to your brain. It's so valuable, but we think it's childish, and it's like no, there's a true value in it.
yeah, yeah.
Agree.
Yeah, yeah, childish. That's yeah, especially yeah, you see it everywhere in a professional setting, for example. Yeah, everyone is very serious. You don't play, and everyone has their image and ego, and they don't want to do something completely different, like playing. Yeah, and that's yeah, it's unfortunate. So
I feel like when like the people that are on their deathbed that get interviewed are never like, I should have worked more. I should have really spent more time at that thing I didn't like doing. Like I feel like they always are regretting like not loving enough or not
Yes.
playing enough
Yeah.
or following their passion. And so
Yes.
I
yes,
feel
Yeah.
like
yeah,
this can help for sure.
yeah. How long ago was it that you started with improv?
About 20 minutes ago.
Jochen wants to get serious.
Yeah, again,
Belgium.
again. Not, I don't want to play.
I mean, my smart aleck response is from birth, you know, and the first class I took was my parents signed me up for it was a Christmas present in 1991. They said, we think you would like this.
Okay.
And it was a theater called Second City, which is like the big improv theater in the States where I'm from. And I grew up in Chicago, which is kind of like considered as like the birthplace, or at least a training ground. And so they gave me these classes, and I was studying at university. So I was 21, and they said, it's Saturdays, noon to 3. So I would drive up like 2.5, 3 hours from university to take a class. And it was the most fun. And I'm an athlete. So it reminded me, it was like comedy. It was like a comedy sport.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I get it. I set you up. I bump it to you and then you spike it. Or I pass the ball to you and then you score. And I like that. I didn't like being the one who scored. I like setting up the person. And that was my whole life. I liked being that person. I liked being the one that set someone up in a sport or anything. So I gravitated toward it very quickly. I was like, this is great. And it was the fact that there was no future in it was very attractive to me being lazy. I'm like, I don't have to learn lines. There's no job waiting for me.
Yeah.
So it was truly a hobby. It wasn't like you were trying to get on teams, or there were no festivals. There was nothing like that. It was more like, oh, it's a bunch of us kind of nerdy people in a basement of a school.
Yeah.
Who are playing make-believe. We're encouraged to play make-believe. And then the more we agree, the easier it gets. So let's try to continue to agree and build this world and build these characters. And if somebody comes on as a talking painting, it's like, let's explore that. Let's not be freaked out about the talking. Let's see what we do with it. So you found people who had a shared mindset, like the two of you, where you're like, oh, you have a similar mindset. Let's do more stuff together. But it definitely was not, this is going to turn into something.
No.
I think if it was, I would not have done it, honestly. I think if it was like there's a chance for it to go somewhere, I'd be like, nah, because that's not what I was into. I didn't want it to go anywhere. The fact nobody really knew about it was pretty cool to me. I'm like, oh, nobody knows what this thing is. And then, so I started at a time where it was, and I look back now at the people I played with and came up with and the people I learned from, it was like, it was a really cool kind of experience. It was like, you know, the painters who all came together, and it was like, oh, we shared this thing. There was no like, we're moving on to a professional painting league. No, we all share this kind of idea and this similar mindset, and it led in response to something. So that was my beginning.
But then after a while, you made it more or less full-time as a profession.
Well, because of just longevity, I guess. Just the fact of like, people started taking more classes. People started seeing, oh, it can impact my life. It's not just a stage tool. It's not just preparing you to be on stage. It's more like, oh, I'm a better listener. I play with my grandkids better. I use this in business. Like those students started coming and telling us like, oh, I use this in business. And then we go, oh, maybe we can start training people with those skills to be better listeners, more empathetic, to be more present, to work in a group better. And so that's kind of how it came about. It wasn't like, let's use this in a business setting. It was more like you kept being told that, and you're like, oh, okay, I guess maybe we could offer this.
Yeah, let's try it out and see how it goes, basically. Yeah.
I mean, it was like, I remember early on, you would go into these business settings with like CEOs, and you'd be like, just yes and your way to success, and you'd leave and you're like, and you'd go, oh, there's got to be something more to that. So it's more of a philosophy rather than this. But those two words were really a game changer for a lot of people. And so people started writing books about it, and people started saying, oh, I could use this philosophy in my workplace or with my employees, and that's how it started growing. And then with this here in America, people love to chase fame. They love to be famous. They want to be famous. And so they saw improv as a way to be famous because people would be trained in improv and then go on to be in TV and film. And they're like, oh, it's a shortcut. If I take classes at Second City or at IO or at Improv Boston or any of these places, then I'll have the same career path. So then people started going to those places a lot more.
Yeah.
And you also play 10 minutes almost every day with other improvisers?
Yeah, it's a very selfish reason. I do it because it makes me laugh.
And you want more and more and more?
Yeah, and I want, like, when I laugh, it improves my day. And so even if I'm not at the beginning feeling into doing it, the connection with another human is huge. And I really enjoy the moments before and after the scene as much as the scenes. But I've done like almost 300 I started last March. So in a year, I'm coming up to 300. And it's more based on, in the beginning, I didn't have anything else happening because all my work stopped. So it was like, all right, what can I do with my time? And it's like, well, I can reach out to these people I don't see because we live in different cities. And then that turned into, I'm going to play with anybody. So if anybody wants to play, I'm like, let's find a time. And that's the excitement of the virtual improv for me. Is we could just, as long as we have a time that works and an internet connection, let's do a 10-minute piece. And so you do a 10-minute scene where it's like, get a suggestion and you don't have to go anywhere. That's the fun part. Nobody's going to walk into your scene. Nobody's going to tag you out. It's just the two of you. And you're like, well, I'm excited to see what your style is. Let's play that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you've done over 300 shows for a year. That makes me ambitious. We have to beat this.
Yeah, that's impressive. No, it's really impressive. 300.
And that is the key to improv, is competition.
I'm very competitive.
Yeah.
But don't you find that it's such a great way, especially for people that you you don't necessarily know, but you have a connection with improv. Like, hey, I've seen your work.
Yeah.
I've heard of you. Would you? And improvisers, for the most part, are going to be like, absolutely. I have some friends who I've known for a long time who don't want to do it because they're like, I'm not into the virtual thing right now, which I totally respect. But like for the most part, the people that are improvising, especially ones you see in jams or online, if you reach out to them, they're going to say yeah because they're already doing it. But don't be offended if people say no, because some people are like, I'm taking a break or I don't want to. Even like really good friends of mine are like, hey man, I feel you. I'm not into the virtual thing. And I'm like, whenever you are, let me know because I'd love to play with you.
Yeah.
You know, people never say no to us. Or if they do, this will be the last word coming out of their mouth.
That is true.
Saying, I mean, it's just not the fact.
But we really agree. It's so much fun and the connection together. And like Daisy and you said, everyone, wants to play. Yeah? If you see really someone online playing and you ask, would you like to play with us? 99.9% the answer is yes. So and it's so much fun.
As performers, if you want to stop caring about how your scene's going to end up, we get nervous of like, how's it going to go? I'm so afraid it might not go well. If you want to get over that, do a whole bunch of these. And then pretty soon you're like, I've got so many of these I'm going to do that I can't hold tightly onto each one to be like, I'm so afraid. It's like, oh, I've got another one coming up later today, or I've got another one tomorrow. That's the biggest way to get past that fear is like just repetition of doing a bunch.
True.
Then you just care, and then that's when the fun is, where it's like, it's not that you want it to go bad, you just don't care. You trust it's going to end up okay. And that's
and that's the important thing, I think, the feeling of trust. Whatever you do, you will end up fine, and your partner will save you and help you anyway. So because I remember we started doing online stuff last year in March, just a duo, and in end October we started playing with 3 or 4, and in the beginning I was really nervous. An online show. Okay.
So many people are like, this can't work. We can't do it online. It's not the same as stage. It's like, no shit, it's not the same as stage. It's virtual. Like, embrace it for what it is.
Yeah.
And the more you do it, like, there's nothing that will help you more when you're doing virtual than when you freeze up in a scene. It's going to happen. Like, your technology is going to fail you. So, like, the more you just do it, the less you get concerned with that stuff, and the more you're like, I want to explore this. What can we do to play? That thing you did that I didn't know we could do, now I can do it moving forward. That's awesome.
Yeah, true. There's so many possibilities you can do on a little screen as this. Yeah, and I think everything we do, we can also do on stage somewhere or another. There are a few things perhaps you can't do, but like playing with the camera angle or whatever. Like they have some sort of little effects. But the story, the dynamics, the energy is a lot of the same as on stage. The only thing, you don't have the audience, and that's a lot of energy too you get or miss with online improv. But so many things. Well, most of the things I think I can use on stage.
Yeah, and we want to give it a try.
Yeah.
And I remember early on, somebody said, a bunch of teachers got together and they're like, let's do what are games we don't think could ever work virtual. Let's play them now.
Yes.
And it was amazing. A lot of them you can make work if you go into that mindset of like, I'm excited. I'm replacing the judgment with curiosity. Ooh, let's pick up our camera. What happens if we do that? What happens if we go off frame? What happens if we treat it like we're doing a movie instead of a stage thing? So
it's awesome. When you teach, you also teach online improv. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What's the main thing, or philosophy, or what's the topic you most care about when you do teaching? Is there something special?
I mean, I really like doing virtual improv because it opens up the possibility to people who might have like mobility issues or might not be able to leave or might not have a theater nearby.
Yeah.
There's so many people that I talk to that go, we bought a book and we read a book and then we tried it, which I think is great. Like, so when I do like online teaching, what it's really shown me is it's forcing people to have to slow down because you can't interrupt each other. You have to wait, you have to pause a lot more. There's a lot less frantic energy than there is when you're on stage. Sometimes that excitement is really like frantic and frenetic, and you're not listening as well. So I think and I think it's taught us to also explore more. Like for a long time, there's a subsection of improvisers that are like, all we need are two chairs, no props, no costumes. And I'm like, I grew up playing in a short form group. We had costumes. It was super fun. And I'm like, so now we get to bring props and costumes, and we could do things. It's so exciting. So like, who knows? In the middle of a scene, this might happen.
Yes, exactly.
I don't have to actually grow anything, but I can just pop that on. So I think there's more possibility, and this is teaching folks that there's more that we can do that we don't, that instead of looking at what we can't do. So there's more we can do. Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, how much fun of just you're playing, and we're at a point now where this is brand new. So you're not like trying to be like theater X or theater Y. You're doing your own thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, what do you like? Nobody's telling us the way to do virtual improv, whereas before I think a lot of people were trying to tell us, and that's what theaters do, is they need to have something so they can monetize their product. So they have to be like, I teach Game of Scene, or I teach The Herald, or I teach X, Y, and Z. Like, you need to have that. And whereas in virtual, that's fine, but you also, you're exposed to so many other teachers and performers that are amazing and brilliant that don't have to have that pedigree, don't have to have that background. If I come from this city or this theater, it's like, no, they have a philosophy that they're able to develop now, and they don't need the permission of those other places.
Yeah.
You don't look at it like, oh, well, person X comes from Chicago, therefore they're good. It's like, no, there's a lot of shitty Chicago teachers who teach improv, but because they're from a certain city, you go, oh, I give you more credibility. And I think this has blown that away.
Yeah. Do you think that? Oh, sorry, Daisy.
No, I said I agree
Yeah.
about the shitty teachers from big cities, fancy places.
Yeah. So, do you think online improv will stay here?
Oh, 100%. We're going to look at what percentage is online, what percentage is live, like on a stage or in a classroom. I think right now it's, in the States, it's like 100% virtual, or maybe 95%. I think in the world it's probably like 90% virtual. I think when theaters open back up and people can feel comfortable being in a room and being live, I still think I think it'll probably end up being something like 70-30, maybe 70% in person, 30% virtual. But I don't think it's going anywhere. I think there's a lot of people like me, and people, I have a lot of friends who are about my age who have been doing this about the same amount of time, and they're digging it too, because it's like, oh man, I don't have to drive somewhere, I don't have to park, I can reach more people. So I do think there's a certain amount of people who are excited to push it forward. There's a certain amount of people who their only experience is virtual improv. They've taken their first class virtually. So I think we can continue to push it forward, and for me, I'm going to still do it. I'm almost exclusively going to be virtual. Like, I love it. I think there's a great opportunity to reach a whole bunch of people that I didn't have before. So I know it's here to stay. It's just what percentage is it going to be?
Yeah. And that's the same discussion we had, Desi and myself. We definitely like to stay. Well, we like to be on stage, of course, but we also like to continue with the online adventure, because it's... why give that up, and why all these contacts and all these friends you have, and then suddenly you say, oh, we stop? No, I can't imagine that. I can't imagine.
Right, like playing, Desi, playing with you is so fun, and then the thought of like, oh, would we have to be in the same city to do that fun again?
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, it's not like we cannot come to the States. For sure.
And it's like having, and I'm going to be doing some, for sure, like some tours, and like I love going to, that was the one thing pre-pandemic that was so great, is like I was able to go to different cities, and I was fortunate enough to work in Copenhagen, Denmark for like 7 months running a theater. So that was an experience that was amazing. I can't replace it. And going to different festivals was so exciting, and you see different cultures and you experience different people. And we talked earlier about food and what kind of food we've eaten, and there was a mentor of mine I just learned from, a friend who had him as a teacher, who used to have people bring in a dish from their like culture, and then everybody would have to try that dish in an improv class.
Yes.
And I'm like, what a great so I think it's fun to be able to go places and experience that. But I also think, like, man, what a great asset this is for us to be able to just reach out online and say, hey, what are you doing this Wednesday? Can you spare 20 minutes, an hour, 10 minutes, whatever it is, and get on, even if it's not broadcast, even if it's just the two of us or three of us do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
By the way, Johan looks like a centurion right now.
Centurion?
Yeah. Like a Roman centurion.
It also kind of looks like cinnamon, like pastries.
Yeah.
Or like a character from a Midsommar movie.
Yes.
Well, whatever it is, I'm special.
Johan, you are special. Buddy.
Thank you, Jay. Jay, if people like to reach you or contact you, or they want to have a course, or they want to play the 10 minutes with you, how can they find you?
Oh, thank you. Facebook is a great way to reach out to me. I'm of that age where Facebook is. I love working on Facebook, so they can always message me there or find me there. My website is Today Improv, TODAY improv.com. So if you go there, you can find me or message me there. Jay@todayimprov.com is another great way. But yeah, don't hesitate to reach out. Like, people sometimes get nervous to reach out. It's like, I just like to play, so don't be nervous and like not this is for any improviser, not just like to reach out to me, but like, don't think you need a certain amount of training or experience to reach out to someone to play with them. Like, the amount of time you spend doing this doesn't equate to your value. So like, I know people have taken one class and I'm like, oh my God, they're amazing. I know people that have done this for 20 years. I'd never do a scene with because I'm like, you might have a ton of experience. I don't like the style you play. I don't trust being on stage with you, so I'm just not going to play with you. So if you want to play and reach out to me, that's great, but also reach out to other people too. Now's the time. A lot of those people you look up to ain't got much going on, so now's the time to reach out to them and see if they'll do that.
Exactly. They are home, they can't travel yet. They probably have some time to play.
And the same goes for us. If you want to play with us with a sudden note, you can send us a message.
We'd
show together.
Love to play with everyone. We put some links, Jay, on our Facebook page too, so people can also find you back through our Sudden Note page, if they have seen this. So and if you like to share some more links, just let us know, send us a little message and we put it there too. So okay, well, that was a lovely scene and a chat we had.
I'm stealing a car here.
Both very lovely and wonderful and so fun to play with. I really appreciate being asked. I'm very flattered. Thank you.
And thank you for playing with us. We were also very flattered. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Don't go away yet. I bring us offline. So let's say goodbye to the audience and
Goodbye, audience. Thank you.
Bye, audience.